Info Media Reacts. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the program. Let's get into this reaction right now. There's a situation that went down with a black woman who went to a gym, and she became very upset because there was a white man who entered the gym, who she perceived as a white man, who walked into the women's locker room while this black woman was basically butt naked. And as a result of this, she raised a lot of hell about feeling uncomfortable with this individual who went into the locker room. We're talking about this sister right here. You probably have seen her all over your media or social media feed. I mean, whether it be Instagram or the X or whatever we call it these days, Twitter. She went off. I mean, she went straight off because of this individual right here who walked into the locker room. We're living in a world today where you can be born biologically a male and you can say that you're non-binary and decide any day of the week that, well, today I'm going to be a female, or that you are a female, even though you were not biologically born a female, which means you still have male genitalia. You still have male hormones. You are built still different than women. And there's some women who may feel damn right uncomfortable with you going into their locker room. Just like you have situations where you have individuals that were born male but now want to play in sports with females, sports that is designed for the biology, because this is down to biology, and the physicality of females. Males and females do not have the same physicality. So this sister did not feel comfortable with this individual in the locker room at that particular time. It did not make her feel comfortable at all. And she went off. This sister right here went completely off. She wasn't having it. And the thing about it that was crazy is that as she complained about this individual being in the locker room, because he came in the locker room when she was completely nude, and that's what really got her pumped up, because she said that this individual right here was staring at her. And that made her feel very uncomfortable. Also, this sister at the end of the video that I'm going to play, where she says a few things that she was angry about, I think this sister was triggered as well because of the fact that something happened to her as a girl. And we're gonna hear that. So I think there's something about something that happened to her, some abuse in her life, something of a sexual nature that triggered her when this man came into the women's locker room. This is a person who self-describes or identifies themselves as a she or a her and not a he. And this sister right here admitted that she herself is gay, doesn't have anything against people that are gay or race, but doesn't like the fact that she still sees him as a man coming into a locker room that should belong to women. She even went as far to say that maybe there should be transgender bathrooms or locker rooms. This sort of stuff is triggering women, biological women across this country, whether it be gyms or what have you, which is why, for the most part, you may have some women that they rather stay at home and work out rather than go to the gym, because you got some women who don't want to be bothered by men in the gym trying to hit on them, let alone a person who was born male who says they're now a woman that goes into the locker room and makes them feel very uncomfortable. Indeed, this is indeed something else, y'all. So let me get into it right now. Let's break it down. Let me let you hear the first video clip of her dissatisfaction about this man being in the locker room. Check this out.
Ever at the gym, at Gold's Gym, and I think this is probably happening at gyms across America, where like trans women are going into the women's locker room and not really caring about how women feel about it. And it's really hurtful, yo. Like, how you gonna say you want to be a woman or that you are a woman, but you don't give a fuck how women feel? Today I was naked in the locker room. I turn around and there's a man there in boy clothes, lip gloss, standing there looking at me. I'm butt naked. So the first thing I think is maybe there's a worker in here. Maybe I missed the sign. I say the word sir to say, sir, what are you doing in here? Wow. He goes, don't fucking talk to me. I'm a woman. I have a right to be in here. Immediately.
So this guy, this individual right here said, this is what triggered her. I have the right to be in here. F you. As this individual was staring at this sister who said that she was butt naked and it seemed like he was looking at her just a little bit too much. Are we going too far as a society in terms of how we identify people? Because the last time I checked, I'm 55 years old. Biology is really what determines what sex you are. Your preference of what you think you are, that's your personal preference, who you want to be with. And it is your personal preference what you identify as. But biology never lies. At the end of the day, no matter whether you are born a boy and you want to be now a female, at the end of the day, biology does not lie. People lie, but biology cannot lie. That's a fact. Let's get back to this.
Really, I'm fucking pissed because I'm butt naked. I feel violated. I feel like weird. Like, I don't want to deal with this, right? So the girls are walking in and they're seeing the commotion and they actually chime in and say, yo, I don't know why he's in here. He's not supposed to be in here. And then I talk to the people that work at Gold's Gym and they don't really have anything to do. They just like, oh, we can file a report about it, incident report. What the fuck is going on? Like, listen, how can you say you're a woman or you want to be a woman and you don't care how women feel? That's nothing more manly than not giving a fuck about how women feel, I'd like to think. And I get it. Like, everybody has their own things and I don't want to say that I know everything about gay rights or trans rights. I'm a lesbian. I've been a lesbian my whole life. I treat people how I want to be treated regardless of whatever their sexual orientation is.
So she reveals at this point in time that she herself is a lesbian, but doesn't pretend to understand the rights of people within this LGBTQ community. Find that kind of interesting, but let's continue.
Or whatever they decide. So I'm not transphobic and I'm not homophobic. I'm not straightphobic. I'm not racist. None of these things. I just believe in treating people how I want to be treated. Why do you guys think it's okay for men to be in the women's restroom? And like, when is the cutoff point? Is it like, oh, you cut off your penis, you can come in here? Why aren't women making the laws? And if you really want to fucking be safe and feel good, why don't we just make trans restrooms? Because it ain't.
Now, does she have a point here? Where is the cutoff point? Should a person who goes into a women's locker room that now identifies as a woman that was born a man, should there be a restriction based on them no longer having genitalia because they've gotten a surgery? What is the cutoff point? How far do we go with this? When do we say, okay, enough is enough? And then she made another good point that why is it that women should be making these laws? Because this really is impacting biological women who may not feel very comfortable with where society is going or with this particular situation. Does she have a point, or is her point mute because she herself has admitted that she is of the gay community, but does not feel that she's a racist or homophobic or even straightophobic, as she called it? But she just feels that at some point, enough is enough. This is her perspective. Let's continue.
Ain't right. The way I feel right now. And don't come into my comments about he gay, he ain't looking at you. I don't give a fuck, bro. It's about a feeling, yo. Like, if you never been a little girl who been touched or been through some shit, you won't understand that feeling. And you've never been a little girl.
Uh-oh. It looks like what I was saying earlier, that this woman has been somewhere down the line, she was violated sexually herself, because she said, if you have never been a little girl that was touched, don't come for her. She's saying, people in the comment section of her social media, don't you come for me because you've never been through what I've been through. And she did say that she is a lesbian woman. And I just kind of wonder if whatever happened to her as a child or a little girl, if that had any impact. I'm just asking if it had any impact on her sexual preference or so. Just curious. But it doesn't really matter what her sexual preference is, whether she's straight, gay, herself, doesn't matter. If she doesn't feel comfortable with who or what she perceives biologically as a man, as this fellow comes into the locker room, stares at her body, makes her feel very uncomfortable, does she not have a right to defend her position? Now, let me show you the actual video in question that caused this whole thing to become very explosive all over social media. And here we go. This is how she confronted him. And you even had another guy in the gym that confronted him as well. Check this out.
I'm the guy asking you a fucking question.
Exactly. Get out of the way now. No. Now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that shit. And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No.
That's fine. I want the video.
You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay.
Woo! What do y'all think about that? She went off. And check this out. This is the thing that's the kicker. As this young sister stated in her distaste for him being in the locker room and then going back into the locker room after confronting him, she made a complaint about him being in there staring at her as she was literally butt naked to Go's Gym. This was a Go's Gym, allegedly a Go's Gym in the Los Angeles, California area. And you would think that this individual here, who identifies as a female, you would think that this individual here would have been the one that had their membership revoked from Go's Gym. But in fact, after this sister right here made her complaints about this individual walking into the locker room, guess what? She ends up being the one that loses her gym membership. What? And she had a few things to say about it, to say the least. Check this out. Her language gets a little nasty here.
In the women's locker room. And that's why I'm getting kicked out. And I want to make sure the girls know. The fuck?
Whoa.
Everybody saw that man in the fucking locker room.
She says everybody saw that man in the effing locker room. Whoa. So apparently what happened in this situation is that nobody seemed to care about the fact that this guy went in the, well, this individual who identified, this man who identifies as a woman, went into the locker room. The sister went off, lost her gym membership. He didn't lose his gym membership. Of course, he's got the right, skin tone. As Paul Mooney would say, he had the right complexion for the protection. She loses her membership, but he doesn't lose his membership. This is crazy. And while she's going off and saying she's over it, she's tired of it, nobody came up to her to console her and say, you're right, man or woman in the gym. This is crazy. Let me continue.
No one's saying shit! And I'm fucking done with it!
Woo!
It's fucking stupid! It's dangerous! Me naked in front of a man without my permission. But I ain't the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room.
Woo! Woo! She's terminated for not wanting a man in the locker room. This is crazy. I want you to give me your personal view on this. Do you think she has a point? Do you think it's a damn shame? Is she contradicting herself as someone that she identifies as a gay woman herself? Or does it not matter whether her sexuality is straight or gay herself if she felt violated by this individual walking into the locker room? She made a complaint about it. She made a lot of noise. She went off. But she ultimately became the one who lost her membership at this Gold's Gym. Why this individual had the right complexion for the protection, did not lose their entry into going there and continuing to work out at Gold's Gym. So what I'm thinking is that Gold's Gym in Los Angeles probably knew that this individual identifies as female and probably felt that, well, we're going to uphold and be not, I think from their point of view, they probably don't want a lawsuit. They don't want to get sued for discrimination because this individual can say, hey, I was discriminated against when I identify as a female, as a transgender person. Now, is that what it was? Or was it them just saying, you know what, we got this loudmouth we got this black woman they see as loudmouth, and she black, we don't care. She ain't running nothing here. Nobody cares. Because ultimately, they didn't kick them both out. They kicked her out and said, no more, you have no membership here anymore. While this individual that you see right here again maintains membership. Tell me, somebody help me make sense out of that, okay? Or can you make sense out of this whole situation? Something doesn't smell right here. Something doesn't make sense here. Everybody, I appreciate you listening and watching this podcast, this reaction media, Info Media Reacts. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, right? Make sure you do something else very important on this channel. Make sure that you share the video on all your social media, okay? Thank you for watching because we really appreciate that. Like and comment. Give me your honest comment about this situation. Subscribe, share the video because we definitely like that. The whole situation is crazy as all get out. I don't know what to say. It's a head scratcher. It's a head. I don't know what it is. The audience knows it's crazy. What do you all think about this? With that said, this is Info Media Reacts. Y'all take care. Peace.